It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
It's the KQ92 Morning Show. Steve Gorman will not be in today. His beloved Baltimore Orioles were swept by the Texas Rangers, and he just couldn't get out of bed.
No, he's crying.
Yeah, just at home, just sitting in a dark closet, just sucking on a wet towel, sobbing.
Aww.
Yeah.
Poor Steve.
That does suck. I mean, you know how it is when you're in your team. I mean, we're not feeling super great about the Twins this morning. Just down a game, though. So I guess all I would say about that is they've changed the game time today. It was going to be a 1 o'clock, 1:07 pitch this afternoon. But now they've knocked it back to 6 o'clock. Yeah, 6 p.m. start tonight. So won't get to watch all of that, I don't think. So, yeah, they're going to have to try and even it up now and head back to Houston to win this sucker. So I imagine Lopez will be on the mound. I'm going to get him out there. He's had enough rest, probably. Young guy, he can pitch. But not a great day. It was obvious to me watching the game right out of the gates that Houston came to town to swing the bats. They just thought, let's get off to a hot start and jump on Gray. And they did. 4 quick runs there, and the Twins never really got the bats hot. And
Man, that happened fast.
Yeah, that did happen fast. But yeah, down a game. So I gave one back. Get one back here this evening. So again, that's a first pitch, 6:07 p.m. tonight here
I
at
don't
Target
know if
Field.
I'm going to make it to watch that.
Tonight, yeah.
Yeah, it's late.
Oh, it's getting there,
Oh,
for us
gosh.
early morning critters.
Oh, boy, I don't know.
Well, nap day. Just make it a nap
Yeah.
day. Can you nap in the afternoon?
Oh, I nap hard, man.
Yeah, I wish I slept at night like I napped during the day.
Yeah.
I just wake up with a beard full of, drool
Yeah.
in the
same.
afternoon, and I can't wake up. Man, I go deep. They say, in the afternoon, just a 20-minute nap. Steve says that.
No
Man,
way.
you can't take more than a 20-minute nap or you fall
Nope.
too much and then you can't sleep at night. Yeah, I know. But I can't take a 20-minute nap. I'm not capable.
Yeah, no way,
I'll
dude.
take a swing at you if you
Really?
try to
How
wake
long
me
do you
up.
guys nap for?
Oh, like 3 hours.
At least an hour.
It depends on the weather. But yeah, an hour, I plan in an hour and then I wake up an hour and 30, 40 minutes later and go, it's good enough. That
Yeah.
kind of thing. But when the weather's nice, the days are running out here. We still have some nice weather. Yesterday was just freaking beautiful, man. Perfect.
Oh, it was so nice yesterday.
Take a whole year full of those right there. But, what are you going to do? And then Jefferson's out. Sports practically over here for the season. No, I'm kidding. Tomorrow night, the Wild gets started. Panthers are in town.
That's
so
cool.
excited about the Wild season. Always get excited, when the season is started. And the Wild had a pretty good, year last year. It's them, it's the playoffs again. But I don't know. I think they look pretty good. I don't know anything about much of the rest of the league. We're not going to get into Wild talk right now, but they do get it started tomorrow. We'll have the Wild for a brief period. We may have all 3 teams. Well, we have the Timberwolves, but 3 of the 4, the big 4, going here. Do we count the soccer team now?
Sure.
We
The
should.
Aurora. I'm talking about the ladies' soccer team, the female soccer team that sells out all their games. What's the guy team called? The men's team here?
Minnesota United, the Loons,
Yeah,
baby.
the
Oh, that's right.
It's a great
Loons.
fun. Have you guys been to a game yet?
No, I
Yes.
haven't. No, I have not.
It's great fun. It's a wonderful
Is it?
stadium, and there's so much just spirit and energy. It's a ball.
All right, if you don't know all the rules to soccer, and the intricacies of the game, can you enjoy it?
Of course.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah. That's like car racing, like NASCAR. I don't kind of know everything that's going on out there, but I like to see a lot of horsepower just whipping around the track. That can be fun. And then, like most people, I'm sitting there waiting for one of them to, flip 15 times because it's safe. They're going to be all right. They're going to be all right. Nothing wrong there.
Just cheer when other people cheer. It's like going to the comedy club. You laugh when other people laugh.
How long does a soccer match last? What are you talking about? 2.5, 3, 10 hours?
It's like 90 minutes, but sometimes it'll go a little longer.
Really?
There's a point where you stop and then you start again. But yeah, it's not super long.
Oh, well, that's not bad. If you're talking about 90 minutes, that can hold my attention. And they do serve beer, you said.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone over to the St. Paul Broomball Center and sat around and watched that for a couple hours, for crying out loud. If you're serving beer,
Beer.
yeah, I can, watch anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're off to a soccer match together, all of us.
Okay.
Remember the pumpkin guy yesterday, right?
Oh,
What was his
yeah.
name? Travis Ginger?
I've been thinking about him all day.
Really? Have
Yesterday, I thought about him all day.
you? Thinking about him or the pumpkin or both?
Both. I mean, I think it's so. I love pumpkins.
Yeah.
I have like a really weird attachment to pumpkins.
To eat them or just as a
No, as like
just as a
friends.
thing?
Friends.
Yeah.
Will you then, what about jack-o'-lanterns? Would
Yeah.
you'd stick a knife in your friend?
Well, I'm really, really bad at carving pumpkins. Like, it doesn't ever look good. But no,
Gotta
I
get the right tools.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not like opposed to carving a pumpkin, but I don't need to. I just like having them around.
That's Candace carving a pumpkin. Just, why did anyone like me? Son of a...
I tried to carve a goat in a pumpkin once.
Oh,
and
I thought you were going to stay. I thought, oh boy, where's this going? She's goat carving.
it looked like a squirrel.
Well, that's a win. I'm pretty sure I couldn't carve anything look like a squirrel. No, it all changed when I got the tools. You know, I grew up, we just did it with Mom's bread knife and the old steak knife, and you just hack away at it. And but then you get those little tools, the little saws and that thing. You know, your little
And you can
kit
get
that you
stencils.
Oh my God, yeah. Then you're making stuff.
All right then.
Then you're taking pictures and you're posting it on social media. Look what I did.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
I'm
good
in.
stuff. All right, get your little tool kit. And then
Anyway,
we'll...
so sorry. What's going on with Pumpkin Man?
No, nothing. We just covered it a little bit. Now the story's gone national. His pumpkin, his new world record, this is Travis, I think it's Ginger. I'm remembering from the story yesterday. He teaches horticulture, of course he does, at Anoka Technical College nearby, and he's been growing pumpkins since he was a teenager. My dad got into this for a while after he retired. I'm just going to see what's the biggest damn pumpkin I can grow. And he got like a 700-pounder, which we were blown away. But that's...
What do you do to make it bigger? What kind of nutrients do you add?
He was using cow poop. You know, he just went out and got the good old fertilizer out of the field, and then he mixed it with a mulchy thing. And but it was something he attended every day, and he dug a hole. I don't know everything. He was talking to us about it, but I was
You were paying
only
attention.
half listening. I'm like, well, it's Dad's talking about growing his big pumpkin. At some point, you just glaze over. You know, like, That's great,
crazy.
Dad. I'm glad you're doing something now that you're retired. Anyway, so this is like his fourth world record pumpkin, and he named it Michael Jordan. Remember he named it Michael Jordan? And I didn't know why. We talked about that yesterday. I was like, why the heck did he just picked out the name Michael Jordan? Anyway, he has, 2,749-pound pumpkin. Here he is at the World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off on Monday near San Fran.
This thing's not going to weigh on a 4x4 scale. I said it needs something bigger. I mean, the thing's 7'5" long by 6'7". But yeah, they had to buy a new scale for it. This thing's been surprising. This thing's named Michael Jordan because it's 23 and the greatest basketball player of all time. So the only thing we got to figure out is it the greatest pumpkin of all times.
2749! That's a world record! World record!
Just love the energy there. Yeah, 2023, Michael Jordan's number. There's the connection, number 23. Now, the pumpkin we use for jack-o'-lanterns we're just talking about, those can get about as big as 10 pounds. That's the big one, you know. So this would be, well, that's easy math, about 275 of those, and could make about 687 pumpkin pies, it says here.
Wow.
It's also about as heavy as a walrus, a hippopotamus, or a Mazda Miata. I think Steve mentioned that yesterday. That was I forget what car he used, the Ford Fiesta or something. And it's and you could get two Michael Jordans actually sitting in that big old pumpkin.
Can you ever keep them forever? I mean, do you have to eat them? Can't you preserve them and mount them like
Why do you
people
keep
do with a
referring to
deer
eating
head?
Pumpkins. Why would you eat a pumpkin? I don't get it. Like what?
Pumpkin pie?
Well, I just like that. I guess.
Oh my God,
What?
Candace.
You can't just do that with any old pumpkin. You have to get a special pumpkin pie pumpkin
I
to
wouldn't
do
know.
that.
Yeah, I didn't
You
know
can't
that.
just get any old pumpkin.
I don't know that. It's got to be an eater pumpkin.
Yeah, you got to get a special pumpkin pie. Pumpkin.
I feel like you really don't know what the hell you're talking about right now. You're a little too close to the pumpkin, I think.
I'm just trying to look up my friends.
Yeah, I know who you are, Candace. All right, Mike Evans, Hollywood Report. We have that all ready to go here for you at 6:30. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Most of the KQ Morning Show is back. Steve taking the day off today, but we have Mike Evans. He's not taking the day off today. We're getting a Hollywood Report straight from Hollywood. Good morning, Mike.
Zap, Tony, Candace. How's everybody doing today?
Rocking
Good,
and rolling.
Mikey.
You know, we dropped a game, but, Steve's a big Orioles fan, so we're thinking that's why that's not why he took the day off. But, we dropped a game. We're going to hopefully get one back. They've moved the Twins game to this evening, though. It was supposed to be a 1 o'clock game, but after the O's were out, now they've changed that to 6 o'clock. So we're going to even it up, go back to Houston, and get this job done.
It'll be even more exciting when we do.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, this report brought to you by Marcus Theaters. They are absolutely the best. The Oakdale Cinema, my favorite. Oh, I don't know, the Rosemont's right there, too. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, every Tuesday, if you missed it, you don't miss it ever again. Tuesdays, go to the movies. It's only $6. Tuesday is movie day. Boy, you better get ready for Taylor Swift, too. But anyway, TV news. So let's face it, with regular television fading into the sunset, I mean, fewer sponsors, fewer viewers, starting in January, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and most cable networks will be getting a huge lifeline thrown their way. That would be called the election. Candidates and their political parties will spend hundreds of millions, actually billions of dollars from January to November next year until the election, which will keep a couple of cables afloat. Boy, we're going to get bombarded by that crap.
Yeah,
you know that?
we are, man. And that's I don't think it's anything to look forward to here in the next year.
No. Who's lying the most? I mean,
Right.
Exactly. I've been saying award shows are sort of like beauty pageants. They're just fading away. As for award shows, the general public isn't interested in watching a bunch of overpaid, oversexed, over-egoed folks wearing tuxedos, bragging on each other like they're gods. And now we have some more proof of that. The Golden Globes are January 7th, less than 3 months away, and no network will be carrying them. It doesn't help that the Golden Globes think they're better than everybody else. They make outrageous demands, charging outrageous amounts of money for the rights. And let's not forget, up until a couple of years ago, for decades and decades, they had zero black voters. They just basically...
Right.
Stick a fork in the Golden Globes. They're done. Don't you?
All right.
I mean, geez, Louise. Good news, though. Do you guys watch Only Murders in the Building?
No, I haven't. I know Maria does and loves it, but I've not settled in for that one. What's up with it?
It's just really good. It got picked up. Steve Martin's good. Martin Short's good. Selena Gomez is good. The writing is good. So if you get a chance, check it out.
All right.
Some movie news. I mean, some records are going to get smashed this weekend when Taylor Swift, her concert movie hits the big screens around the country and throughout the world. I don't know what the numbers will be, the $200, $300, $400 million. I mean, they won't break the all-time records, but those movies were like the Avengers and Harry Potter. This is one girl singing.
Yeah, right. It's a concert film. I mean, it's going to blow any other concert film. Has there been a concert film that's made a lot of dough, a big splash on the big screen?
No, not anything like this. Hey, I got a little secret for you about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
He has a clause in all of his contracts that demand that while he can get beat up in movies like Fast and Furious, etc., but in the end of all of his movies, he must be the winner and victorious overall.
Well, he's got an image, that's The Rock. The Rock doesn't go down. That's his wrestling career was the same thing, I think.
Exactly. And Dwayne has walked away from some huge bucks when that clause was not agreed to 100% during negotiations. I thought that was kind of interesting. It's probably pretty smart, actually.
Probably.
Yeah, he's a hero.
And another list for you, 5 celebrities who have really bad breath with a little twist. Number 5, Jessica Simpson, who openly admits that she only brushes her teeth 3 times a week.
What the? Good Lord, woman.
Why?
Britney Spears, Ben Affleck just has some kind of, I don't know if it's a disease or what, but has always had bad breath. Johnny Depp, whose teeth are rotten just by sight.
Yeah, you can see that. I remember during the Amber Heard trial, I thought, my God, they just look black.
Yeah, it's not good. And, of course, Jennifer Lawrence, with that asterisk I've told you before, she purposely eats garlic for hours, just garlic, before kissing scenes in movies to secure that she has bad breath so her partner in the kissing scene won't get any ideas.
All right, John, thanks. You know, they might just be a professional, but anyway.
Well, on second dates, if Candace really doesn't want to go out with a guy, she does that too sometimes.
Candace likes garlic
I
breath.
do. On me only.
All right.
Okay. Hey, guys, have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.
All right. Thank you, Mike Evans. There he goes. The garlic breath.
Don't out me, man. You know what?
What?
I'm proud of it.
No, I don't think you don't have to apologize for garlic. I like too much garlic. I rarely run into too much garlic. It can overpower a meal, obviously, but then the meal is garlic. You know, if you're going to overpower a meal, do it with garlic, I say. Well, you're talking about the Major League Baseball playoffs, of course, here a little bit. We're not going to get mired in it, but I was just looking at this. Professions where 30% success rate is considered excellent. Yeah, if you're a 300 hitter, you're one hell of a ball player, right? That inspired someone to ask the internet, what's a profession where 30% success rate would mean you're successful? Broadcaster? I don't know what that even means. Sales and marketing. All right, I guess if you make the sale 30% of the time, that's considered successful. That makes sense, I guess. Debt collection. Defense attorney. Really? For a defense attorney, just 30% of the time. I want the defense attorney that's batting like, I don't know, 800, 900, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Startup investor. You know, you got to take some losses. You write those off, right? Songwriter. Yeah, you'd be a hell of a songwriter if 30% of your songs, that's like Beatles successful right there. 30% of your songs are big hits. Scammer. Is that a profession? Yeah, professional lottery player. Yeah, okay. Is that a profession? A professional lottery player?
Yeah, if you win once, you're a winner.
Yeah, I know, but you've got to win once. I mean, it could take years to win the big one. But I suppose, $1 million here, a couple of 100,000 there. You're not playing for the big one. You guys going out to get your lottery tickets today? I set a reminder for myself because I notoriously forget. I've not bought a lottery ticket for, I don't know, a few months. The last time it was up to $1 billion. I finally remembered. But this entire last run that this thing has been up to, it's over 1.7, second biggest. The drawing is tonight. And I actually put a reminder on my phone. I'm like, just stop and buy the damn ticket because someone's got to win this. I just want to win one of the $1 million ones, I'm looking small. You guys going to buy lottery tickets today?
Yeah, I'll buy one. See, I'm the same way. Somebody wins.
Yeah,
Why not?
Got to
I
win
bought
this
one.
sucker. Yeah, right?
Yesterday. But the dude printed it weird, or the printer was weird, so it kind of got cut off.
Uh-oh.
But I don't know. I kind of felt like that was,
It makes it unique.
yeah.
That could be because, what are you going to, you're right. Yeah, I'm superstitious when it comes to lottery tickets for sure. Did you ever pick your own numbers?
No.
Yeah, I've tried that. I sat down once. I was like, maybe I just got to pick my own numbers. The one time I picked my own numbers, bango, it'll hit. So I'm sitting down doing birthdays. By the way, Sid the Kid out there somewhere not listening to me. I just want to say it because I'm a dad and I can do it. It's her 27th birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, kid.
Happy birthday, Sid the Kid.
Wow. Maybe I'll get her this exact date for the lottery numbers. just to be
Oh, yeah,
creepy.
that's what I should do. I should go out and play her birthday and then whatever else. I'll need a few more numbers there. But, yeah, I plan on cashing in big on that lottery. All right, here's what I have for you. Now, listen, Paul Rogers was our guest last week, but it was late. It was in the 9 o'clock or 9:30 or something like that. I believe it was 9 o'clock. A little bit later in the day. Perhaps you were on to your work day and you didn't catch it on the podcast or whatever. It's a great interview with a legend, an icon. That gets thrown around, but Paul Rogers, definitely bad company, an icon. So we're going to rerun that for you at 7 o'clock. At 7:30, little kid or drunk adult
Yes.
for some concert tickets. But we're not quite done yet this morning. I found this piece of audio. It's going to come at you pretty fast, so I can only play it one time because we're about out of time. But these are 10 animal fart facts. I know. There's something...
Only
wrong
10?
with me. There's only 10. We just have 10 of them here, and it's audio. I'm going to play. But these are kind of mind-blowing. I thought, this is silly. This is stupid. Of course, I'm going to click on it, and then I just feel compelled to share it with everyone. Here it comes. You're going to want to remember at least one of these for at work today, 10 animal fart facts.
Animal fart facts that will blow you away. Lemurs use their farts to have stink fights. They rub their hands in the stench and wave them at their enemies. Blue whales can create fart bubbles so big you could fit a horse inside of it. Zebra farts are so loud they can be heard from miles away. Zebras also fart with every step they take when running away from a predator. Share this with someone who has no shame in their fart game. Ferrets scare themselves when they fart. The coral snake farts to defend itself. It raises its tail in the air and lets it rip when danger is near. Termites fart so much that they are responsible for 3% of global methane emissions.
Wow.
Because cows have 4 stomachs, they're constantly farting. They're responsible for 14% of the world's greenhouse gases each year. Manatees use farts to help them float. They have pouches in their intestines to store their farts. Herring fart to communicate with each other so they can form shoals when predators are around. A plane full of goats once had to make an emergency landing because the goats were farting so much that they set off the fire alarm.
I think that announcer just likes saying that word.
I know, he was really announcing it, wasn't he? These fart. Well, you know, you get a voiceover. I've had a few here and there, and, you know, sometimes you just got to have some fun with it. If I'm going to read. Excuse.
Sorry, I farted.
Excuse me. All right, catch up with Steve Gorman and the KQ Morning Show podcast. Hilarious comedy. See, that's the kind of copy I'm talking about right there. It's hilarious comedy. And hijinks, in-depth interviews. Anywhere you get podcasts, anytime you want. Sponsored by Devani's Pizza and Hot Hoagies.
Oh, them is good.
Yeah, I think I might be getting the Hot Club a little bit later on today. All right, right now on the Maple Grove Lock and Safe Talk and Text line, let's get along to a game show, shall we? 9 and 2. Our callers today, 651-989-ROCK. We're playing Little Kid or Drunk Adult for a chance to win tickets to Styx this Saturday at the Mystic Showroom, prize provided by Mystic Lake Casino. Our runner-up today gets tickets to Minnesota's Best Bash, happening Thursday at Orchestra Hall, prize provided by Star Tribune. 651-989-ROCK. Little Kid or Drunk Adult. Dial up. Good luck. And hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
And we just love to play games. Tony, what game are we playing this morning?
How about this, by popular demand?
I'm not that intoxicated.
Mommy, I have to go potty. Daddy.
Drinks are on me.
The KQ Morning Show presents Little Kid or Drunk Adult.
I'm so wasted.
It's a very simple concept. Yeah, these people will lay out, these folks we don't know will lay down a scenario for us, and we will try to, not we will, our contestants will try to determine if they did this when they were a little kid or were they a drunk adult. For Styx tickets and Minnesota Best Bash tickets for our runner-up this morning, first contestant, Candace.
We have Matt from Hastings.
Matt, how are
Hey,
things
Matt.
in Hastings this morning?
Chilly.
Yeah, it is chilly. It's starting to turn, but I like this fall weather, you know. I mean, because we're getting the sunny days, the 60s, just kind of creeping into the 60s. I don't know. I think it feels good before it feels bad for about 4 months. You know what I'm saying?
Easier to warm up than it is to cool off. You only take off so much clothes before you go to jail.
That's the attitude, Matt. You're ready for Little Kid or Drunk Adult. Do I need to explain this to you?
Nope.
All right, here we go. Sarah's up first, Matt. Was she a little kid or was she a drunk adult?
I drove an electric wheelchair straight into an entertainment center and shattered the glass cabinets.
All right. Jumped on an electric wheelchair that she probably shouldn't have been on and right through a big glass window.
Yeah, let's go, little kid.
I was a little kid.
There you go.
I was at my mom's house, and my mom had recently had knee surgery, and she had an electric wheelchair. So, of course, I was curious about the electric wheelchair, and I wanted to take it for a little spin. So I'm sitting in the wheelchair, and I'm just kind of checking it out, and I look over, and there happen to be some shoes on the floor, and I got the great idea to see if the electric wheelchair could make it over the shoe, like if it had enough power. And so I floored the little joystick as far down as I can push it. And not only did I hit the shoe, I kept going and went straight into the entertainment center and broke the glass cabinets straight in half.
Yipes.
Yeah, that little scamp. I would have done that as a drunk adult, no doubt. Matt, you're 1-0 here, buddy. 2 more to go. Next up, this is Lenny.
I wore the bottoms to a girl's bikini, pretending to be Michael Phelps.
All right, he wore a girl's bikini bottoms, pretending to be Michael Phelps?
Let's go drunk adult.
All right.
I was a drunk adult.
You're dialed in, buddy.
A group of us were hanging out, drinking by the pool, and I decided to go find my girlfriend's bikini bottoms, threw those bad boys on, which showed everyone way too much. Ran outside, declared I was Michael Phelps, and jumped in and started swimming laps. My girlfriend was not from being embarrassed, but because I stretched out her favorite bikini.
Yeah, no, she didn't like that. Now her bikini has a banana pouch. That's not going to work for her. 2-0, man. You're on a roll. Let's see if you can't run the table here with Grace.
I tried to burp really loud, gagged, and then farted and cleared the room.
All right, tried to burp. It went on to a full furp and perhaps a shart there. I don't know. She cleared the room. But as a little kid or a drunk adult?
I don't think a little kid could do that much damage. Let's go with drunk adult.
All right.
I was a little kid. My older cousin, who I adored and wanted to be like, was over and was a really good out loud burper. Just trying to show and explain how she did it. So I took a deep breath in, tried to set up the big burp, started coughing, and felt like I was going to puke. And apparently my body lost all control. And instead of a burp, I let out the loudest fart. And it was so bad, everyone cleared the room.
Yeah, I think that's a win right there, if you're asking me.
That's precious.
That was worth losing on that one.
Well, that's the attitude, Matt. We like where you're coming from. 2 for 3. That's not bad. That often gets the job done. We've rarely had a 3 for 3 on this game. All right, Matt, we'll put you on hold. And contestant number 2 this morning, Candace.
Kevin from St. Paul.
Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Good, you?
Yeah, the day's off off to a pretty good start here, I think. Not bad. We're feeling good about life, trying to give away some concert tickets. All right, Kev, do you know how this works, little kid or drunk adult?
Yep.
All right, we're going to fire right in there and then with Anna.
I stuck a thermometer in the wrong end.
That's with a good end or the bad? I don't know. Anna stuck the thermometer in the wrong end. Was she drunk or just a little innocent kid?
I would have to say she was drunk.
I was a drunk adult.
Fun.
I had the absolute worst hangover and felt really, really sick. I kept telling my roommate I was sure I had a fever and was sick as well. She said, hang on, and went and grabbed a thermometer, handed it to me, and walked out. And I proceeded to pull my pants down to take my temperature. She walked back around the corner and said, what the are you doing?
Well, I guess it's the backdoor thermometer now. That's not going back in anyone's
You
mouth.
have to keep it now.
That's almost a fetish, isn't it, really? I mean, that was her first thought. Someone hands me her thermometer. I don't know. All right. Well, hey, good news there, Kev. That's 1 for you. 1 for 1. We'll go for 2 for 2 here now with Martin.
I shot my older brother in the butt while hunting.
Oh, shot his older brother in the butt while hunting.
Let's see here. I'd say a little kid.
Let's find out.
I was a little kid. My parents got us our first BB gun, so we went hunting pigeons. When we got one, I went to go pick it up, couldn't get it. My older brother said that I was useless and what was the point of everything. So I was a little angry and I shot him in the butt with a BB gun.
Oh, I saw that.
Intentional.
Yeah. I got to tell you, Mom and Dad got us, I forget how old we were, pretty young, maybe 10, when we got our BB guns for Christmas. And the first thing I did was shoot my brother. We stepped right outside, and I just wondered how, I didn't have a BB gun. These things hurt. Now, to be honest, to confess here, or to fess up, it was Christmas. So we had our overalls and stuff like that. He wasn't hurt too bad, but it's a brother's prerogative, I think. What's the point of everything? Snappo. Hey, you're 2 for 2. This is for the win here, Kevin.
All right.
Little kid or drunk adult. This is Hanson.
I drank a big glass of milk and projectile vomited everywhere.
Drank a big glass of milk and projectile vomited everywhere.
That's a tough one. I'll have to go with drunk adult.
I was a drunk adult.
There you go.
During the holidays, and we were all staying at my...
Hold on. As I play this, there's a caveat to this. Listen to it. It's a little, this audio is not the greatest, the milk that he drank.
Folks' house for Christmas. We'd been playing games, got hammered in the middle of the night. I went downstairs, ate about 10 Oreos, and washed it down with a big glass of milk. As I'm down in the milk, my older sister came into the kitchen and says, what are you doing? And I said, I'm washing down my Oreos. She said, with your nephew's milk that I pumped. The gagging instantly kicked in, and there was no turning back.
He guzzled his sister's breast milk.
Well,
that she had pumped, and that's why he puked. You didn't have to be drunk to puke that up, but you probably had to be drunk to drink it. You thought that was the milk? What did she put it in, like a 2%, milk jug and stick it right back in the refrigerator? You guzzled your sister's breast milk. All right, while we all cope with that thought, Kevin, buddy, 3 for 3 gets the job done today. You've got the Styx tickets. Mystic Lake Casino. How'd you say that earlier this morning, Tony? Sticks at Mystics?
Sticks at Mystic.
That's the tongue twister that he rapped out. So congratulations. Matt, not empty-handed. Minnesota's Best Bash. I know it's a night of food, drinks, activities, music, all that going on. Minnesota's Best Bash. So thank you, fellas. We appreciate it this morning.
Thank you.
All right. That's always fun.
God,
I like
love
saving
that.
that one for last. Guzzled his sister's breast milk.
Well, it's good tasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Tony has reacted this way before when we
What?
discussed this, accidentally drinking breast milk.
Yeah.
Have you done it or something?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Why?
Go ahead, Tony.
Well, anything that goes into the mouth of my kids, I want to try first.
Oh, okay. So you did it to test it.
No, to test and taste.
No, yeah,
out of curiosity too.
Out of curiosity, I did too.
Sure.
I mean, this is the woman that you've procreated with. You've made a child with. It doesn't get any more intimate than that. Now you have a baby with, and you're just laying there, and sure, I'm gonna take a little sip.
Will you guys drink my breast milk?
On a dare?
That's like the fourth time you've absolutely left us all speechless at the same time.
Pause.
And then I made eye contact with Tony, and it only
I'm
got
not
weirder.
pregnant.
As a drunk adult?
Sure, right from the tap, or do I have to guzzle it out of the refrigerator?
I'm more like a keg.
You get some Nestle's Quick to mix in it.
Yeah, right. Oh, Brody Jenner, you know who that is?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. He just posted a YouTube video showing that when he's out of milk for coffee, he just grabs a bag of his fiance's breast milk. Here's that.
All right, so I just came out to make us both some coffee, and we are out of almond milk. But I did find one thing. Now, I hear great things about breast milk. I hear it's very nutritious. I hear it's very delicious. I think it'll do.
Yeah, it'll really be really good for you.
You want some too? It's freaking delicious.
I did. I've heard good things.
Well, there you go.
I
It is.
love Brody Jenner.
Who is Brody Jenner again?
He is Chris Jenner. Well, what's his?
Right, one of the
her name-
Jenner
the
clan.
Bruce Jenner. No, Bruce Jenner's son.
Oh, with his
uh,
previous marriage.
Yes.
All right. Is he an athlete?
What's her name? What is her name?
Tia something?
Courtney. Oh, God. Just forget it.
Yep, I've forgotten. It's gone.
But no, I love him. He was on this stupid reality show when I was younger, and I was obsessed with him. And now he has this tequila seltzer that I like called Mamamitas.
Tequila seltzer?
Yeah.
I'd try that.
Yeah.
Kind of get me interested in some. I'm not a big seltzer guy, I don't like sugary booze.
Yeah, it is kind of sugary, but it's Brody Jenner.
It's Brody Jenner, boys and girls. I'll have some tequila seltzer and just a dab of breast milk in there, please.
Yeah, mellow it out.
You guys keep a free emergency pizza in the freezer?
Oh, always.
Yeah, especially when I'm not home. When I'm out traveling around and staying in an Airbnb or something, pizzas go right in the freezer. And I always say it's an emergency pizza and because I don't feel like cooking or I forget to get something, but that's every day. They don't sit in the freezer for more than like a day. Because, Candace, you sent this to me. Domino's is cutting in on that action by offering free emergency pizzas for the next 4 months. A little marketing stunt to get more people to sign up for the rewards program, but throw it out there as a public service. If you order online and spend at least $8, they'll add a credit for one free medium 2-topping emergency pizza to your account.
Nice. I love emergency pizza.
I love pizza. Doesn't have to be an emergency, but sometimes it's an emergency and I need pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I live within a 2-mile radius of 2 of the finest pizza joints in town, and I just kind of ping pong back and forth between the two. And yeah, I would say this summer pizza is probably been about, and I kid you not, at least 60% of my diet.
We have really good pizza here.
Yeah. Well,
there's a lot of places.
Yeah, I know a lot of people come here to the Midwest, our little Minnesota frosty Northlands here from the coast, especially the East Coasters. James, our former PD. Oh, you guys don't know good pizza. I'm like, all right, yeah, we don't have a big Italian population here, but I think we know how to throw a pizza together. We figured it out.
I love punch.
Yeah, you do love punch. I do too. You know what it is? It's whoever's in your neighborhood, whatever's in your vicinity. And, it's always some damn good pizza. There's actually a couple in my area that I haven't gotten to yet, but I will. I'll get there.
A lovely cheese pizza just for me.
Doesn't that sound good? Like your own pizza?
Yes.
That's pretty much how I eat my pizzas, all by myself. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is psychedelics are becoming quite the thing, right? So now pot's legal, and pot was legal for like a minute there. I know Colorado legalized it like 10 years ago, but it doesn't feel like it's been illegal all of my life, and now it's just been illegal for a while. Now we're just quickly moving on to psychedelics. Let's make those legal. Mushrooms and acid and that sort of thing. Here's a little cautionary tale. 43-year-old guy named Michael Orchard from Half Moon, New York, finally got the unexpected call to heroism on last Thursday night. His neighbor's house was on fire.
Oh.
Yeah. He drove his car through their fence, sped through their fence, kicked in their door, ran inside, grabbed their dog, and managed to get outside to safety. He's a freaking hero.
Oh, my God.
Well, there's one little problem. There was no fire. Michael was on LSD and cough syrup, and he was hallucinating. So basically, he just destroyed the neighbor's fence, the neighbor's door, and kidnapped their dog.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that exciting? Isn't that a great story?
He showed he's responsible, though, if crisis did hit.
Imagine as he's kind of coming, the cops and the firefighters are there, and the neighbors are freaking out. He's like, no, wait, what? I'm a hero. You don't understand. I saved the dog with the fire. Aren't you guys going to put out the... Slowly kind of coming to, going, oh... Little kid or drunk adult? Little kid or high on acid? Oh, and listen, we're going to get right along here. We're going to scoot along because we have a guest at the front door. We're down a man this morning, so I'm going to go out and retrieve him. We have a special guest here for you at 8 o'clock. If you'll please just hang tight.
Come give your mama a kiss.
Mwah.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
There it is, AC/DC on the KQ Morning Show. Zep, Tony, and Candace getting her done this morning. Steve lamenting his Baltimore Orioles 3 and done with the Rangers, man. Ouch. No, he's got some stuff he's doing today. Just as well, because I get to sit here and chat with my old buddy Tony Price. Thanks for coming in this morning, man.
Tone.
It's my pleasure to be here.
So we got a couple of Tonys, 2 for the price of 1 here this morning.
Are you an Anthony Tone?
Sometimes. Often I am.
When you're in trouble?
Well, it says Anthony on the cover of the book, so I've been thinking that I better go more and more with Anthony so I don't confuse people.
goldstarride.org is your website. Tell us about the book.
The book?
Yeah, we know the book very well. There's not a new book. It's the same
There's
book.
not a new book yet, but there's a new book in the works.
Yeah.
It's kind of bouncing around between my ears.
Yeah.
Because the first book was written after I did a motorcycle ride where I averaged 307 miles a day for 8 straight weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
307 miles a day, 7 days a week for 8 straight weeks. And
Visiting Gold Star families. And I don't think our KQ listeners need to know, but I always preface it with a Gold Star family would be a family who has a loved one that has put down their life to sacrifice for our country and our freedom. That's a Gold Star family.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, immediate family members of anybody who's killed in the military.
Yeah, and you've taken it upon yourself. And Gold Star families get a certain amount of attention. You know, we have our Patriot Riders. We have our country that stands behind them 100%. And then when everyone goes away, they still have a deceased family member that's given their life for our country, and things get quiet. And you've spent your time riding around on your motorcycle, crisscrossing the nation, talking to these families, spending some time with them. It means a hell of a lot to them. And you put together a book that talks about these experiences when you initially got started.
Exactly. And if you don't mind, I'll just tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
When I was on that one ride, now today I'm launching on ride number 52.
Wow.
In 5 years.
Yeah.
Little over 5 years. So I was on that first ride, and it was a super hot day, and I'd been riding for a month, and I got an email that said, you got to see my best friend. She's a Gold Star mom. I said, all right, set it up. Go to a restaurant, whatever. We'll hang out and do the thing. And there we were, sitting in the restaurant. And there was actually 3 Gold Stars there that day. There was a Gold Star mom, a Gold Star son, and a Gold Star brother. And the 3 of them were and there's a handful of other people just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're right in the middle of the meal, and all of a sudden this Gold Star mom, who was sitting immediately to my right, she says, I just don't understand why my son would take his own life. And I just looked at her and I said, he didn't take his own life. That was a sniper's bullet from 7,000 miles away.
Yeah.
And she just burst into tears. Everybody was crying. After a little while, we went back to, hey, them beans are pretty good, and should have got French fries, not onion rings. I don't know, about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, we're hugging goodbyes, and we're saying our goodbyes, and down the road I go. And it's 7 days later, something like 2,400 miles away, 7 states, and a crap load of more Gold Star families. And I get an email from that same person who said, my best friend is a Gold Star mom. You got to. Anyway, the email was very, very short, just 2 sentences. And it said, your visit here was the greatest thing could have ever happened. Because later that day, she went home and tore up her own suicide note.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Jeez. There's a chill for you, right up your spine.
Yeah, and she's actually still a good friend of mine. I mean, that was more than 5 years ago when that came to fruition. But I just talked to her just a couple days ago, so she's still kicking around. And
you don't jump on a plane. You don't take a train, a nice, comfortable SUV. You get on a motorcycle and you do this.
I get on a motorcycle and I do this.
Bike?
Well, the thing about motorcycles is they attract attention.
Yeah, they do.
And, when I first started this, I thought, hey, this is going to be a great idea. I'm going to get 50 people, and 50 people are going to ride around the country. Well, that didn't work out very well.
Yeah, well.
It's hard to get 2 people who got time to put down and just jump on a bike and go for 2 months. So what we've morphed into is I go on the motorcycle and I go pretty much by myself. And then like later today, I'm going to be outside of Peoria, Illinois for a late lunch.
Later today,
yeah.
He's in studio, by the way. Bike parked right out in front of 2000 Southeast Elm Street in Minnesota. And you're going to be down in Illinois later today.
Yeah, so I'll be down and that's just for a late lunch. I should be there I'm hoping between 2 and 3. I should
hammer down, buddy.
And when I get there, then I just stop in at the veterans fraternities, the VFWs, AMVETS, American Legions, DAVs, all those kind of places. And we just pull in and we find as many locals as we can get that will come and ride the motorcycles with us.
Yeah.
So the biggest group that I've had was 116 bikes that went to see a Gold Star family.
Yeah.
And the smallest group, of course, is when I go by myself.
This has got to be incredibly meaningful for them. Like I said, after it all settles, all the dust settles, and everyone goes away, and all of the honors and accolades and love outpouring, that all goes away. Everybody has to get back to their lives, and they're left with that life and that memory and that hurtful feelings. It must be awfully meaningful to these families that someone cares enough to get on a motorcycle. Do you know it's October 11th today?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, we're putting the bikes away. We're sticking them in storage. We're driving them down into the basement and putting it right next to the couch and the big screen television for the winter. We're not jumping on them and taking off across the country.
Because all winter long, we have to look over the seat of the motorcycle to watch TV.
I sometimes throw my feet up on it.
There you go.
I've done a burnout in my basement before.
Well, this particular ride is it has a couple extra reasons for going. The idea is that I'm going to get down to Florida should be in Florida in 2, maybe 3 days, and then I'm going to park the motorcycle there.
Okay.
So I'll fly back. We'll do a few things, and then the next time I go out on a motorcycle probably will be in November or December, and I'll just fly back down to Florida, get on the motorcycle, and then we'd take care of the Gold Star families in the southern states.
Yeah, and do you know how many Gold Star families you visited? Do you log something like that?
Yeah, we do. I'm up to 494.
494 Gold Star families you've stopped in, and sometimes it's just having a little bite to eat with them. Sometimes there's an event that's happening. Often it's just an intimate
all of those things.
meeting. Yeah, and then when you started these, do you have any sense of how many miles you've put on?
I'm up to 122,000 in 5 years.
122,000 miles. How many
2
bikes?
motorcycles.
2 motorcycles.
Well, I'd still be on the first one.
I know you would, but we're still happy to have you here.
But I was actually, was 13 months ago, I was on my way back from the Black Hills where I'd seen some Gold Star families and done some stuff out there, and I was about 1 mile from Pipestone, Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
And I saw the lights of the town. It was nighttime, so I could see the lights of the town from a mile away. And I said, oh, that's where I'm going. So I hit the gas a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was going about 70 miles an hour when the deer ran out in front of me.
Oh, no, I know it.
So I was, I hit him pretty square and pretty hard. All the lights broke off in the front of the motorcycle. The fairing was still intact, but the fender was gone. The forks were broken. The roll cage was gone. The bike was totaled.
Tony wasn't broken, though.
No, Tony kept the motorcycle upright.
Yeah, somehow.
After hitting a deer.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so I immediately went from 70 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And no more lights, so I couldn't see anything. But, I had a good front wheel wobble going, and when I regained control of that, I said, well, I'm moving. I'm going to keep on moving.
Yeah.
So I didn't go any faster. So I just went 20 miles an hour for that last mile and limped it right up to the parking lot, parked it in the parking lot, went in, checked into that cheap hotel, and I didn't even look for the damage until the next day.
I checked into a cheap bar.
Even the deer is wondering how the hell you did that.
I think I got pretty lucky with that one, but it leads up to another story. I called a friend of mine in Indiana who goes by the road name Head Dog. We all have road names. My road name is Token Squid.
Token Squid.
Actually, a name I got right here on this radio station.
That's right.
Many years ago.
A former Navy commander, I believe.
United States Marine Corps.
Marine Corps.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel.
Thank you.
He said, you know Tony Price, don't you? Yeah, he's going to be our Token Squid at the party. Incidentally, that'll be November 10th is the Marine birthday party, and I'll be at that again. I don't know where it will be, but it'll be someplace in the Twin
day
Cities.
Before Veterans Day. That's Friday, so it's generally honored a lot on because Veterans Day is on the 11th this year, so that'll be on the 10th Friday, just before that.
Well, the November 10th is the Marine birthday.
Oh, that is the Marine Corps birthday. I go to the casual Marine birthday party, which is always in a bar because the Marines started in a bar. Yeah, that's true. They did.
Yeah, 11 guys got drunk and said, let's go kick some British ass.
They're still doing it, except we don't have to kick the British ass. We go in with them now.
Yeah, anyway, so I called up Head Dog, and I said, yeah, I hit a deer. He said, you hit a deer? I said, yeah. At 70 miles an hour? I said, yeah. And lived? I said, yeah.
He's calling from heaven.
There was a pregnant pause there, and he says, how many Gold Star families have you met with now? And at the time, it was about 450. So I said about 450. And he said, I guess you got about 450 guardian angels, don't you?
You're damn right you do.
I said, I guess I do. That actually leads into another story which happened on the new bike. Last February and March, I rode from Jacksonville Beach, Florida to San Diego. I was trying to get an iron butt patch. So I was trying to go coast to coast in 50 hours.
A lot of us know what the iron butt patch is. Explain what that is to the folks that don't know.
Well, there's an association. I forget where they are. I think they're in Florida. But there's an association that monitors distance rides.
Yeah.
Endurance kind of rides.
Hardcores.
Right. So the easiest patch you can get from them, and they verify everything, right? So you got to have pictures of gas receipts and all kinds of other weird stuff. Anyway,
you have to have calluses on your ass cheeks.
Right. So they double check everything and make sure that you did what you said you were going to do, and then they issue a patch. And the easiest patch to get is 1,000 miles in 24 hours. That's the easiest one. So what I was trying to do in February, I was trying to get it's called a coast to coast in 50, so a CC 50. I was trying to go from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean in 50 hours. Didn't work out for me very well. I ran into a sandstorm in West Texas that blocked out the sun, and and by the way, I had been riding in the rain for 9 hours, and then I went from riding in the rain to a sandstorm that blocked out the sun. Anyway, I said, well, shoot, I can't breathe in this, because I was riding without a helmet, and I didn't have any face coverings or anything, and I was just breathing in all this sand. So I didn't get the CC 50. However, I did manage to do 1,500 miles in less than 36 hours, so I got that patch out of the deal. But anyway, so I'm on this ride, and it's like a week after that, and I'm eastbound, and I'm cruising across New Mexico, and I just love people who like to say that the earth is overpopulated. Because
head west.
Head west. Aside from Southern California and maybe the San Francisco area, if you're west of the Mississippi, it's a long ways between towns. You're familiar with that, living out in Montana.
A lot of turf out there.
Yeah. Anyway, I was cruising across New Mexico, and I passed this little town that had about 50 people in it. And 25 miles later, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not on the freeway. I'm on a U.S. highway. And I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and the bike throws a code. Okay, now we got to do a little explaining there. There's a computer on the motorcycle. Mm-hmm. If the computer senses a problem, it will put the motorcycle in what they call limp mode, so you can limp it home and get it fixed, right? So here I am, and the motorcycle throws me in limp mode, and I stop and I try to fix it. I'm looking at the codes and stuff, and I try to look up the code on my phone, and I don't have any signal.
Of course not.
And I stand up next to the motorcycle, and I do a 360. I just spin in a circle, and I can't see anything.
Anything.
Man-made.
Telephone pole.
Nothing. Not a fence. Nothing. Except the road I'm standing on, there's nothing man-made as far as I can see.
Open range.
Okay, so I'm thinking, well, 25 miles to the town of 50 people. There's no help there.
No?
The next town in front of me was 50 miles away. 75 miles between towns out there. Anyway,
now the bike can roll, but it can only
it can roll, but it can only go 15 miles an hour.
15 of those 10, yeah. Which is, a brisk walk, a jog.
Yeah, something like that.
50 miles.
4.5 hours later, I roll into a little town called Fort Sumner. Yeah. Fort Sumner is famous because that's where Billy the Kid is buried. Anyhow, I pull into the gas station there. Fort Sumner is about 600 people. Get out my phone, start looking for help. I find a tow truck driver named Alex. Alex and I are friends now. But anyway, I call up Alex. He says, I'll give you a tow anywhere you need to go. I got the only tow truck in town. But you're not going to get that motorcycle fixed anywhere near here. Right. I said, well, what are my choices? He said, well, we can go 100 miles south to Roswell. There's a dealership there. We can get you fixed there. Or you can go 175 miles east to Lubbock. And I said, well, my next Gold Star family's in Lubbock, so let's go to Lubbock.
Oh, hell yeah.
So he comes over this tow truck, and right before we take off, I said, hey, now, right at the edge of town 2 blocks ago, I felt the back wheel jump like I hit a rock or a pothole or something, but I'm only going 15 miles an hour. I can see everything. I didn't see anything. I didn't see a reason why the back wheel would jump, and the front wheel didn't jump.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, well, let's take a look. And he's on the ground, laid down on the ground underneath the motorcycle. He's reaching up underneath the saddlebags, and he comes over and he puts these little teeny tiny pieces of black something in my hand. And I said, what the hell is that? He said, that's what's left of your rear wheel bearings. I said, oh, okay. That's pretty interesting. Okay, now let's let me kind of tell a little bit more about this backstory here. Now, if I don't throw a code, I'm going 75 miles an hour down the road.
Right.
On wheel bearings that are shot.
Yeah, you're...
Okay, so what ended up happening is a catastrophic failure, wheel falls off, and they pick me up off the highway with the spatula.
Right.
Because I'm not wearing a helmet out there.
Gather up the pieces of your motorcycle. Yeah.
Right. So I'm, and that's... So anyway, we load up the bike, and off to Lubbock we go, and we spend 4 hours in a tow truck. I got to know him really well, and got to know about his wife and his kids and all that kind of stuff. We get to Lubbock, and we unload the motorcycle at the Harley dealership, and then he donated the $3,000 tow.
Oh, holy cow!
To the charity. Yeah. That was a nice little thing. Anyhow, next morning, dealership calls me up and says, "What are we doing with your bike?" And I said, "You're going to put in new rear wheel bearings.
Yeah.
And as long as you're at it, you're going to put in new front wheel bearings, and then you're going to figure out what's wrong with the bike. It's throwing a code.
I got a code.
Yeah, I got a code, right? So you got to figure out what's wrong with the motorcycle." Anyway, he says, "You got something to do?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to go hang out with the Gold Star family." So I did that 3.5 hours later, and we kind of wound down our meeting after 3.5 hours, and they'd come drop me back off at the Harley dealership, and I see the motorcycle sitting in the parking lot. And I thought, that's a little weird. You'd think that they'd still be working on it. So I go up to talk to the service manager, and I said, "The bike's out in the parking lot." He said, "Yeah, it's done." I said, "Really? Great. What'd you do?" He said, "We put in new rear wheel bearings like you asked us to, and we checked the front ones, and they were shot too, so we put in new front wheel bearings."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, that's awesome. What about the code?" He said, "What code?" I said, the code that made me go 15 miles an hour for 4.5 hours. That code. What happened? He said, "There wasn't a code." I said, "There's a computer. The computer remembers a history, right?" So I said, "Did you look at the computer's history?" He said, "Yeah, we looked at the history. There's no code."
Those damn guardian angels of yours, man. I'll tell you what.
And I've told that story, I don't know, 100 times. Probably more than 100 times. And even now telling you, I'm getting goosebumps on my spine.
I tell you what, yeah, I mean, you live a goosebump life, and it takes, when you're traveling the country like you do, putting on over 100,000 miles on a motorcycle, visiting Gold Star families throughout the year and all the weather, and nothing slows you down. You need a little help out there, and you clearly have it. Tony Price is our guest, Gold Star GoldStarRide.org is the website. The name of the book that I've read at least a couple of times. It's got nice bends in it. Is, again, help me out. What's the name of the book?
Yours very sincerely and respectfully.
Which you can get on the website. And it's filled with all these stories of the Gold Star families, now up over nearing 500 families that you've visited.
There will be 500 by the time this ride number 52 is done.
Which gets started this morning. You're heading out of
I'm
here
already started.
Yeah, you're already on
Yeah,
the road.
I had to ride like 5 miles to get here.
Yeah, you
so
just
we're already into it.
Swung by to get a cup of lukewarm water from us and tell us a couple of stories. All right, now I just wanted to reintroduce you as we're telling stories. We got about another minute here. What do you got here for us, bud? You were just getting ready to say something.
So many things to just drop into. You know, I got to tell the cool story about the bearings and the limp mode code and the deer crash. And those are stories that I get to tell from, you know, what happens with me. And, you know, the book and the next book is going to just be filled with more and more stories of the Gold Star families that I get to visit and stuff like that. Almost all of those stories are more than a minute long. So
yeah, all right. Well, hang tight.
But you can pick
Maybe you
up a
have
lot
some
of them on the
poetry
website.
you want to share with us that you've written.
Poetry, yes. I wrote a poem about the autumn.
Well, you're doing the Lord's work out there, buddy. I know I speak for everyone when I say we just really appreciate you taking all of this time and dedicating the majority of your life these past years to going out and spending time with our Gold Star families. It makes me feel good knowing that we have one of our own going out there to spend some time with them and give them some comfort.
Yeah, it's
and
fair enough
companionship.
It's fair enough to say I'm a disabled vet myself.
Yeah.
And when I started this 5 years ago, I thought, well, okay, we're going to build it and it's going to become this great, big, huge thing. And like some of the other charities out there that are just, and it just hasn't worked out. And I've just decided, screw it. I'm just going to go do what I do. And as long as I can go do it, I'm just going to keep on doing it.
A man on his motorcycle, Tony Price, goldstarride.org. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for having me in here.
All right. Sam Ekstrom is a host and Vikings insider for the podcast network Locked On Sports Minnesota. That's tomorrow's liner. I grabbed the wrong liner. We're just going to ask you.
Silly lad.
I thought I had a great ending there, and I blew it as a drunk adult. No, I'm kidding. Hang tight, please.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Zep, Tony, and Candace, the KQ Morning Show. Tony, I love this list you sent me. These are actual jobs that you wouldn't think would be jobs. Just the weirdest jobs out there. And as we just sort of roll into a Wednesday morning here, off to the same old grind, perhaps you're in a rut, you daydream about having one of these jobs. You can actually make a living watching paint dry.
Okay.
All right.
Industrial paint companies need someone to assess how fast their paint dries. Boring but vital to our economy. Just sit there and watch paint dry. No, thank you.
No?
Maybe this one, Candace. There's a pornography studio that employs people to digitally remove condoms from their films.
Oh.
I guess people don't want to see condoms in their porn. It's just all BB for them, I guess. Is that
weird.
a turnoff?
I never really noticed.
I just feel like would it be distracting, Tony? Would you be thinking, if they're not doing it safely, now it's taking me out of the moment?
Well, if they take the time and they're like putting it on, that would kind of kill the moment.
Yeah, well, the law mandates that you exactly. Well, I mean, you can do it creatively as a team. Law mandates the use of condoms, but they believe that no one wants to see condoms. I suppose that's part of the fantasy, right? Just imagine if we could do it without a condom.
They're not sexy.
No, they're definitely not sexy. Nothing sexy about a condom. Oh, this is a sexy job. This one would be wild. Candace, I think you'd dig this one. Water slide tester.
Oh, yeah. I love water slides, man.
Yeah, you just go to theme parks and test the water slides before they open up for the day. They're mainly watching out for foreign objects on the slides, ensuring things are safe for guests. Although, what about the atomic wedgie? We read about that last week or two. That lady in Disney World was 210-foot drop. And she got her legs. She did not cross her legs or they became uncrossed. We don't know. She ended up with the atomic wedgie. It actually shoved her bathing suit. I don't want to be graphic, but inside. Had to be unwedged. Yeah, not good.
No, maybe not. I'd rather do the condom thing.
Okay. How about a Netflix tagger? Just get paid to watch Netflix all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one
I could
worked
do
out
that.
for you. Yeah. Orthodox Judaism forbids laboring on the Sabbath or anything like that. Could be considered labor, driving, cooking. So a Shabbos, am I saying that right, Tony? I don't know.
Shabbos.
Shabbos, thank you. Shabbos Goy is a non-Jew who volunteers to perform these tasks in an emergency so the faithful don't break the Sabbath. There was something in there in The Big Lebowski, wasn't it? He couldn't do something. He couldn't go rob or murder someone because the Shabbos.
I can't remember.
This one's kooky. A license plate blocker.
From what?
Due to
what?
severe traffic congestion in some big cities around the world, they have a policy of people with certain license plate numbers not being able to drive down certain roads on certain days. So you would sit on the trunk of their car with your feet dangling over the side as they drove through traffic, blocking their... It would be obvious that you're blocking the license plate. They would just pull that person over. I don't like that one.
No good.
Yeah, no. In Hollywood, they have the growth. Plus, what if someone rear-ended the car that you were? It would crush your legs. In Hollywood, they have something called a gross stunt tester that taste tests unusual food and other items before the talent chows them down on TV.
Yeah, sometimes I like to do that, like to be different and, do something that someone else wouldn't do. Sure. Yeah, I'll do anything.
Fear Factor's paid interns $100
Oh, yeah,
to
never
swallow
mind.
wine.
I actually won't do it because I forgot about that show and I forgot
Fear
about how
Factor.
gross it is.
Oh, yeah,
If it's
God,
like,
that was
like
brutal.
bugs or...
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
wine
never
made from
mind.
worms.
Never mind.
You got to
Take
get
it
in
back.
and stomp the worms then? Is that how you get them just a slushy worm mush and then you squeeze out the pulp and that's the wine?
Yeah, there's this guy that I'm seeing right now and he likes all sorts of weird stuff.
Like what?
Like,
I mean,
he
to
has a-
eat?
yeah,
Can't
he-
imagine why he's attracted to you.
He
Yeah.
has like a goose in his trunk. He likes frog
What?
legs. He likes all sorts of cow tongue. He's just wild. He's
What do you mean
wild.
he has a goose in his trunk?
Like it's frozen. Like
I was thinking of just he had a nice big butt or
It's
something.
hostage?
No, but you mean literally
like he's
he has...
gonna cook the goose, and he wanted to cook it for me, and I'm like, no, dude, I'm good.
Oh, let him.
I don't know, Tony. I don't want to get diarrhea.
Well,
You get that from the pate, I think, from their liver.
Oh my God.
Otherwise, if the goose has been in the trunk too long, probably not. And cow tongue, has he tried
I don't know. He's just-
filet mignon? There are better parts of the cow to eat.
I worked at Cecil's when I was in college. A wonderful historic deli in St. Paul's,
Yeah.
Island Park.
Yes.
And the older people would come in specifically for the cow tongue. And what you would take the tongue and put it on the slicer.
Oh, so
It
you're
was
just slicing up
bizarre.
the tongue.
Yes, just like you do like cold cuts.
I don't want anything on my taste buds that has taste buds,
Yeah, I don't know. I went to one of those game buffet things one time up in Foley. And I got diarrhea. Totally did because I tried all this weird stuff. My stomach was like, what the heck? It was tons of weird stuff. And I was open to it and I did it and I regret it.
You have a delicate constitution.
But you didn't tell what it was. The story was you getting diarrhea.
No, I just said I was at a wild game buffet. Like where they have all
Yeah,
sorts
sure.
of
No,
wild...
I've been to them. They're fantastic. You go there, you get some pheasant.
Do you
you
even
get some
listen when I
elk.
talk, Tony?
I thought you meant to like a game place like Dave and Buster's.
Oh.
Wild games.
Yeah, I just had the what's it called? The platter, the appetizer platter, cheese sticks, and
No, that stuff's usually all right. But no,
Yeah.
this was, it was like
it can
rabbit.
be a little rich. Yeah, it's a little
Elk
rich.
and-
Yeah, it's
yeah,
different.
just-
You're not used to it. You got to build up some tolerance for that, I guess.
It was not
upset tum
cute.
tum.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe this. How about I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. Murologist. It's a professional mourner. They're paid to grieve and comfort families at funerals. That's
Weird,
yeah,
but kind of badass.
kind of. I
I'd do that.
guess. I mean, you'd have to take it seriously, Candace. You couldn't punk them. I mean, can you just turn on the tears?
I mean, yeah, if I was really touched by if I was touched by the situation. Usually if someone else starts crying in front of me, I will start crying. Like at a wedding.
Oh,
or anything
sure.
Like that. If someone
Yeah.
else is crying, like I'm crying.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that makes sense, right? You walk in, you just be moved by the scene, and then why do you need that? First of all, why is there no one else there comforting them?
I know.
Who are you going to see? Some real psychopath that passed on and only his mom is there by herself?
Candace, what if you're at the funeral and then you get diarrhea?
Depends what the meal is.
I thought you liked diarrhea.
I didn't say I liked diarrhea. I just said that sometimes it's fine. Like, it's I never regret diarrhea.
As
Was
a
the
diuretic.
quote.
As a diuretic. Is that what you're talking about? It's like I had that parasite that I got from hiking up north. I drank some water that had deer poop in it that had parasite. And it's vicious. I mean, you go to the bathroom and sit down with a garbage can in your hands because it's coming out everywhere. Your ears, your eyes, just every pore. And this goes on and on and on. And I lost a lot of weight and I was very sickly, but women would always joke with me, really, where'd you drink out of the stream? I could use that parasite. I'd like that, but you don't want it. In Amsterdam, they have something called bicycle fishing. Maybe that's something I could catch. I don't do so well with fish. Full-time job in Amsterdam since 1960. They use a big claw to clean some 15,000 discarded bikes out of the city's canals every year. When they're done with the bike, I guess they just whip it into the canal. And you have a full-time job since 1960 of just getting the big claw. If you're good with those claw machines, like one of our listeners was up at Cragen's, they had one down by the pool. She got like 3 ducks out of there, little rubber duckies. Yeah, I didn't know anyone actually got stuff out of those things.
Wow.
I thought you just put stuff in like money and get nothing back out.
I remember we were at Grandview Lodge one year with our kids, and we must have spent $5,000 for them to get a duck.
Right, that's taking the kids to the state fair. Dad, win us something, and they were young, and they still thought I was cool, and I was a big shot, and I could do everything. And they're like, Dad, win us something. So you want to be the dad that wins them, some crappy little item, anything, something off the bottom shelf, just so we can keep moving here. And I would spend $50 on a cheap little stuffed toy that probably cost 10 cents. Just trying to get a damn ring or a ping pong ball in a bowl that's floating by. And even they're starting to question, and who is my dad as they watch me try and try again. And who are you? You're just a goofball.
What can you do?
Yeah,
at all.
It's very
God,
demoralizing.
you guys talk about your kids a lot.
Well, they're cool. We like our kids. You know what? Maybe this is the job for you, Candace, because they say that women that attend weddings more often, that's where you meet someone at the wedding. Love is in the air. Everybody's thinking about it. It looks like a good time. That's where you meet a boy that is marriage-minded. You're in the same. Maybe this is the job for you. If you don't want to burden your friends, you could be a professional bridesmaid.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
no thanks. Unless they're paying for everything.
Well, I think that's got to be part of it, right?
Yeah.
They're going to pay for everything and the dress and the whole deal. You're not going to pay to be a bridesmaid for someone. But again, like the funeral, you can't round up a bridesmaid.
It's really sad.
Yeah, maybe marriage is for you. Good for the guy, I guess, because then he doesn't have girlfriends always sabotaging the marriage. As they do.
Yeah.
All right, now I've got one of these liners I can read, Tony. Damn it, I've got the right one, too.
Cool.
Hey, catch up with Steve Gorman and the KQ Morning Show podcast. Hilarious comedy. I may share some of that with you soon. In-depth interviews, anywhere you get podcasts, anytime you want. Sponsored by, this is where it gets fun, Devani's Pizza and Hot Hoagies. No, I'm drooling now. All right, we'll have some of that hilarious comedy with Steve Gorman on the KQ Morning Show. At 9 o'clock, hang tight.
I never regret diarrhea.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
In case you don't know, I'm sure you know that the Twins didn't get her done yesterday afternoon, but the Baltimore Orioles didn't get it done either. Because the Texas Rangers swept the Orioles yesterday with a 7-1 win in Game 3, the start time for today's game was supposed to be 1 o'clock in the afternoon, approximately. That's now been moved to 6 o'clock this evening. So the Twins, Game 4 this evening, Astros, of course, here in Minneapolis. They'll get that first pitch out there about 6:07 p.m. tonight. I know. I was looking forward to a little afternoon baseball this afternoon, but as long as the job gets done, I'm sure they'd rather play under sunny skies and warmer weather. But it's a TV playoff schedule thing, so drat. But let's hope they are able to pull a win out of it. Then they head back to Houston for Game 5 of the series, down 1 game right now. So
if we lose this game and the next one, we're done. Done though.
No, if we lose this one, we're done.
Oh, we better win then.
Yeah, we better win. Yes. Get her done. Let's head back to Houston and. That improbable Game 5 win on the road, a little tough to do, but, this is a team that, here's the thing I like about getting your ass kicked in the playoffs, because it happens during the season. That's another bad day at the office, right? You go back to work. But in the playoffs when it happens, and I'm only speaking from a kid that played high school and a little college football, is if you lose a close one, it's demoralizing. It's, oh, man, I wish if I could have just swung the bat there, made the catch there. You nitpick, it's demoralizing. You get your ass kicked in the playoffs, you're pissed off. You got a chip on your shoulder. So I expect them to come out swinging the bats, and you're just playing good, aggressive Twins baseball tonight. I think it's Lopez on the mound. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that makes sense because it's a do-or-die situation. You want to bring your best pitcher out, one of your best, and he's had enough rest now with that day off and pitched in down there in Houston to win Game 2. So I'm imagining it's Lopez. And again, that's 6 o'clock tonight, so that's going to happen. North Carolina woman calling out her landlord. Listen to this. I haven't rented with a pet in a long time, and I know there's always a pet fee, right? They always nick you for that pet fee.
Mm-hmm. Little damage fee.
Right. A North Carolina woman calling out her landlord for charging her $250 a month for her pet.
Oh, my God.
$250. I know. It's getting crazy with the rent and the fees and everything, isn't it? Oh, by the way, this is a pet fish.
Well,
she has one pet fish, $250 per month. Is that really a pet? Do pet fish qualify? I feel like it's just sort of like a decoration that's alive, like a picture on the wall, a moving picture.
It's their policy. Don't question.
I had an Uber driver last night who has koi fish. And he said they're $10,000 a pop.
Well, yeah.
They're crazy expensive.
People steal them out of backyards. They jump fences.
God.
You got to put netting around, or I don't know what you've got to do, put up the security lights or something like that. People will steal those damn koi fish. This is Avanya Brown talking about that $250 per month fee for her pet fish.
So tell me why my apartment complex tried to charge me $250 for a fish as a pet fee. Mind y'all, let me show y'all the fish tank. 2.5 gallon fish tank. Am I tripping?
Yeah, it's you're right, Tony. You just got to step up and pay it. If you had a real pet, I'm sorry. If I had the fish and they nicked me for $250 a month, you'd be hearing the toilet flush. Oh, you know what you could do? Oh, this is a great workaround because you get the legal system working for you. You make the fish your emotional support animal.
Yes.
And you can't charge you for it. You can't kick you out for it. Yeah, I think maybe Avanya, I'll see if I can track her down on social media and give her the heads up on that. She'll want to know that. Her emotional support fish. We've seen weirder, right? The emotional support peacocks and alligator. Somebody tried to get an alligator into a garden. Or no, it was a Phillies game, I think. 24-year-old named Chelsea Wilson from Hollywood, Florida. Asked her dad if he'd drive her to a job interview last Thursday. Was at a bank. Being a good daddy, took her. I'm thinking of my daughter, Sid the kid. My youngest, it's her birthday today.
Again with the kids.
I know. I'm thinking of you too, Taylor. Oh, you're right. It's we do dote, don't we? Although yesterday Taylor was listening when I said a year and a half off because Steve mentioned in Sweden, this is a real thing. They get maternity leave for a year and a half. Both the mom and dad get a year and a half, like 408 weeks or something like that. It's not quite a year and a half or whatever, but yeah, they get almost well over a year off for maternity leave. And I just said, oh, really? That would kind of drive me crazy. I'd want to go back to work at some point. And I used an old Tom Papa line. You want me to stay with this and that or something like that? And of course, Taylor was listening and busted my chops for it because she's my kid. Anyway, back to
like you didn't want to be at home with me.
No, I didn't want to be. No, it's not true at all. You'd actually have a hard time getting me back to work. You give me over a year off, with the kid and the fam, and that's the ideal life right there. I mean, I'm going to start building a shack. We could live off the land. I'm not going back to work. It'll be good for you kids. We'll homeschool you. Anyway, back to Chelsea Wilson from Hollywood, Florida. Asked her dad to give her a ride to the bank for her new job. He figured it went really well because she came outside with a bunch of cash. See where this is headed?
Okay.
An advance payment, she said, on her salary. Yeah. Anyway, that's what he allowed himself to believe. until the FBI showed up at his house the next morning. Turns out Chelsea was lying to him. He hadn't taken her to a job interview. She'd tricked him into being her getaway driver, and she robbed the bank. If you had just asked Dad, sure, you would have gotten a speech, but at the end of the day, well, I'm going to rob the bank with or without you, Dad. And he probably would have, done the dad
Way to
thing.
go, Sundance. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, she also robbed 3 other banks before that. Didn't get Dad tangled up in those. She was arrested for robbery, but since her dad didn't really know what was going on, he will not be facing any charges. Oh, I bet she got a big disapproving look, don't you think?
You're going to have to ground her.
Oh, I'm sure the authorities are going to ground her.
That's wild, man.
I know, right? I was on TikTok again. I've been spending too much time on TikTok, but every once in a while I get a little something for the show here. You know, those 10 animal fart facts. We might replay those.
I love farts.
Fart. Yes. Well, who doesn't love a good fart? It's a good feeling. I mean, I don't want to be on the receiving end of one necessarily, but they're always funny until they're too smelly. But anyway, this isn't about farting.
I was going into Tony's studio, and he said, I've just been farting in here all day. Just want to warn you.
That's not a true story.
I
object.
True or false? True or false?
It always happens when you're in a studio by yourself and you lay down the bunt.
If that were true, I would never warn you.
He'd be sitting there with his phone ready to take a picture of that face you made. Anyway, this woman on TikTok telling her story about an unusual date she had recently. She wasn't the only one that the guy had arriving for the date. Her name is Megan James. I think she explains everything here. Let's get the audio.
I met this guy on a dating app. They bring us to our table and they seat us at this foretop, which honestly isn't that weird if you think about it. We're really only sitting there for like maybe 2 minutes before this girl walks up. So all the girls are just introducing each other. He'd scheduled this date at the same time with all 3 of us to meet at this place. He was trying to speed up his process of finding the perfect 3-way.
Wow, you clever idiot, you.
It's a little sitcom ploy.
Yeah, that does seem sitcom-y, doesn't it? Although I do remember on a date where I had not one ex, but 2 exes show up. And they come over and they say hi to you, because I think you women are funny to... You think you're funny to watch me uncomfortable.
That is funny.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, this guy's not going to end up with anything. He's an idiot. Matt, what are you thinking? You're overreaching there, buddy. That doesn't happen to anyone. Maybe that happens to Hollywood celebrities, rich guys. I don't know. But it doesn't happen to average, everyday people, you dumpski. You probably heard of the old gag where people would throw tomatoes. Bad performers, Renaissance Festival. I don't know if they still do it. I didn't go out there this year, but where the guy, heckles you, sticks his head through the hole, and you whip tomatoes at him.
I missed that, but I'm sure they do. I'm just going to say they do.
Okay, let's say they do. And by the way, I've got a gun. I've put a couple of people in the dunk tank before. I like getting that tomato coming right at you, and I just wait till they get a good juicy, you dirty bugger, wacko, with the tomato. This one involves a stalker, though, and an airplane. Candace, you ever had a stalker?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
That's scary.
Not as severe. Like I feel like once he got the hint, he got the hint.
Yeah.
I hope so. I mean, I haven't seen him in a while, so.
Well, I'm telling you what, you get a stalker these days, you know who to call. Tony Lee.
That's right. I'll make a sketch of him.
Yep.
We'll do a bit. It'll be fun. We'll invite him in on the show, just surprise you.
Let's invite him. Let's give him the address. I'll give him my home address.
Exactly. Well, here we got a 65-year-old man in New Hampshire named Michael Arnold, been arrested for stalking a woman for 4 years. He wasn't allowed to follow her around. He had the restraining order. Can't get within 100 feet or whatever it is. So he would fly a small propeller plane over her house and throw tomatoes at her roof from above.
Oh, my God.
He'd do this like 3 times a week. She'd hear him go over, bam, things plopping up on tomatoes, hitting the roof of her house. The woman says she made repeated complaints, couldn't get the authorities to take her seriously, even when her neighbors corroborated her claims about the low-flying plane. It's just, it's psycho behavior. It might be kind of funny down at the cop shop, he's throwing tomatoes from a plane, relax, what are you worried about? But, that's how nuts this guy is. By the way, even though the plane was Michael's, he denied that he was the one flying it, but he refused to reveal who the pilot was. He told the local news, I might be able to, but I really don't want to throw anyone under the bus. Well, Never had a relationship with the victim. Started when he was a customer. He'd show up at her cafe and be creepy. And then, how did he get her email? At one point, he emailed her unsolicited inappropriate photos. Oh, yeah, the dick pics. Yeah, Michael already had an order of protection against him, so now he's facing an additional 8 counts of misdemeanor criminal contempt. Loony.
He's got pretty good aim. He's dropping the tomatoes from the plane. Why didn't he just stand in front and whale them? Just throw it.
I mean, maybe
Why
that
go up
would've-
in the plane?
Because maybe it was that distance thing. Maybe he has to stay so far away from her. Maybe it's like a half mile. I don't know. That's the one thing I don't have on my record. I don't have a restraining order from a woman.
Why don't you put better use to those tomatoes? Make her a lovely sauce.
Yeah.
Homemade pasta and try and win her over.
Yeah, you get
that'll
more
do it.
with pasta sauce than you get whipping tomatoes at her house, dude. Well, this guy, that's why he's a stalker. He just doesn't understand women.
Yeah, women love spaghetti.
You heard it. Women love spaghetti. Make her a nice marinara, and you're on your way. All right.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Remember
Ope
we
or
played?
nope?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Remember when we played Ope or Nope?
I love that.
Blondie just kept saying, "Yeah,
Yeah. No, ope or nope. Yeah.
yeah."
I had a lot of characters up there. That's what I love about those KQ trips, you know. I think I often feel like I'm the dullest person there, you know, because the listeners are doing just something. Yeah, just keep coming up. Fantastic. Stay away from the raccoons.
Okay.
I just saw this story this morning. Raccoons behaving oddly in Burnsville. People should stay away, officials say. Story just came in this morning. Some raccoons in Burnsville exhibiting odd behavior. Officials are asking people to stay away from the raccoons. That's just, go ahead and just write that down forever. Always. Stay the hell away from
I
raccoons.
don't like raccoons, man.
There's a disease. They got big, choppers. There's no reason to be approaching raccoons ever, unless you have a bat in your hand, and you're going to club one and, sell its hide or something like that. Burnsville Animal Control has seen an increase recently in raccoons that are behaving oddly. I know. I don't know. What are they doing? Backflips? A press release from the city said the raccoons have been staggering, having seizures. Now I'm right back to the weekend that we just had up north. Been staggering, having seizures, and are unafraid of their surroundings. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is the rabies maybe, huh?
Ew.
Distemper. People are advised to stay away from raccoons or any wildlife they encounter and to protect children and pets from approaching wildlife. That's the bigger thing. I think pets probably.
Yeah.
The kids, don't let them wander around. I mean, a raccoon, but yeah, because raccoons generally are going to hide. They're nocturnal for the most part, in the city anyway. You won't see them outside during the day too often. It happens. But kids shouldn't be running into them. But when they have this distemper or rabies, if that's what this odd behavior is, then they will approach. They get vicious. We've all seen Cujo. Have you seen Cujo, Candace?
I will not.
You should see it this afternoon.
Okay.
So you know. They're
try.
vicious. They're bad. There's foaming at the mouth. And then everyone knows if you get rabies, it's a needle that's 1 foot long, and they stab it right into your gut.
Do they
every
still
day.
do that? They haven't progressed beyond
No, I
that?
think they still do because I took a chance and I decided not to get the rabies shot after being bit by a stray cat. And, I'm still here. So unless it kicks in, that was about 7 years ago. So I think I'm in the clear.
I haven't seen you foaming at the mouth yet.
I do get a little feisty, though, sometimes.
Yeah, I've heard you growl like a ferret bat. I don't know. So I don't know if they ever did that. I mean, with the shots in the gut, I just assumed that was something Mom told farm kids.
I bet you do.
Our parents told us so we'd stay the hell away from animals. Because then I did. The beautiful cry of the
Well, I was just
endangered
thinking,
bird.
if I did get it, I'd probably make the paper and stuff. So it would be kind of a badass way to go. I mean, I don't know.
Rabies?
It'd be kind of funny. Not funny, but interesting. That girl died from rabies on that show.
You're far more interesting than that. You don't need a weird way to die to get. People will be talking about you anyway. Half the thing, people are going to be talking about your diarrhea and your fondness for it all day long. I think probably that's going to come up a lot. Although, yeah, I wonder what your behavior would be like. Would you be like a zombie? Could we put you on a chain in there? Let's check in with Candace. That'd be exciting, maybe. If we'd get some social media out of it, that would be cool. Anyway, stay away from the damn raccoons. Keep your distance from the raccoons. Always a good idea. But yeah, sick raccoons down in the Burnsville area. That's where they're finding most of them. But if they're down there, they're sick down there. That'll spread. That's a public service right there.
Gross.
I'll mention again the Twins, not a 1 o'clock this afternoon game, because I just had a buddy text me, "Are you kidding me?" No, I'm not kidding you, dude. The tickets that you have for 1 o'clock this afternoon, you should have received an email, are for 6 p.m. tonight because the Rangers swept the Orioles. I know Steve's not listening right now, but yeah, the Rangers swept the Orioles, so they want that prime time game at 6 o'clock tonight. Kind of a drag because such a beautiful day. Love to see it out there, and I'd like to be awake for it. But yeah, the Twins will go and try and even up the series tonight at 6 o'clock. All right, some FMLs.
Yes.
A little website, just F My Life. Forgot my lunch, perhaps, if you want to go with the PG rating right there. But these are just little harmless things, not big deals, and we can laugh at other people's foibles. Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's one I saw today. I got on the bus.
Foibles.
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 Where'd that come from? Today I got on the bus to go to work. I managed to get a seat, but an old lady who looked tired had to stand. I offered her my seat. She frowned and said, "Go suck yourself."
Whoa.
What?
I know. Sometimes you just can't be nice to people in the city. I remember going to a Twins game many years ago, but it was the new Target Field down there, and we had parked under the overpasses, as you do over there along Washington or whatever. And we're cutting under one of the overpasses, and there was a homeless guy sitting there, and it was like 95 degrees that day, and he was all bundled up in trench coats, and it just must have been just baking inside there. And I'm with a sweet lady, and she has a bottle of water in her hand, unopened. She's just carrying it with her. And we get, I don't know, like 10 feet past him, and I can feel her start to fidget. And I'm thinking, no. Just, I know, because I'm heartless. I don't want to get involved. And she said, "I'm going to give him the bottle of water." I'm like, all right, okay. But just, I walk with her. I'm like, just be, watch yourself. She goes over there like, "Here, would you like the bottle of water?" And kind of holds it out there to him, and he doesn't do anything, so she sets it down next to him. He pulls the trench coat back, wiener out. She's like, "Oh, my God." And I kind of chuckle. I'm like, well, and she starts walking back to me, and he whips the bottle of water, hits her right in the back, and he yelled something at her, and she's like, "That's why sometimes it's just better to keep walking."
What a beautiful day.
What a beautiful day. Today, my crazy mother, who is both religious and almost illiterate, went through my room and threw away anything she thought would be immoral. She threw away Moby Dick because the word dick was on there. Yeah. Yet she ignored 50 Shades of Grey because she doesn't read. FML, I'm impressed you have a copy of Moby Dick in your bedroom. Some FMLs here. Forgot my lunch. F my life. Today I asked my boyfriend of 5 years when he was going to propose to me because I wasn't getting any younger. He responded, "Well, you're not getting any skinnier either."
What the
Goodbye.
heck?
See you, D-bag.
Gross.
FML.
Yeah.
Yeah, FML because you're still with them. I hope you're not. Today, my bandmate and I decided to propose to our girlfriends who are also in the band at the same time in the middle of a concert. His girlfriend said yes. Mine ran off the stage crying. FML.
Well, my life's looking pretty good.
See, that's why we read these. Today, my girlfriend returned from a 2-day trip. I spent the time cleaning the house and working on house projects so she wouldn't come home and be stressed. She got upset when she got home because the house was clean and it made her feel inadequate. FML. Well, you can't win for losing. She just felt like coming home and yelling at you. Although I'm kind of always cranky at the end of a fun. I know you're supposed to come home and, that was a remarkable vacation. But, I'm usually a little hungover, whatever, just kind of drained physically, as it were, and cranky and, jet lag or long drive back in. I get it. Give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure she gave you a big loving hug and kiss later.
Oh, I was completely useless on Sunday and Monday
Yeah.
and Tuesday. I'll probably get back to the group tonight.
Oh, yeah, where you don't answer, you ghost your friends. I used to do that when I come back from Vegas. It was a good week of just drinking water and eating ramen noodles or something, and just hibernating, not answering the phone. I'm not going out. I'm never drinking again the rest of my life. Today, I'm so strapped for cash that I smuggled toilet paper out of my mother's house. FML. Well, if you just asked Mom, she would have given you some toilet paper. I don't think I've ever smuggled. Oh, yeah, I remember, being a teenager, but like 18, but moved out of the house. And Dad we live on a farm. He buys beer by the cases, the Busch Light, just stacks it out there in the garage. So we'd go over and steal a case every once in a while. But that son of a gun.
Bet he knew.
He knew. He counted his cases, and he wouldn't say anything. And after a while, he'd drop it on us. Today, when he needed something done, like throwing bales or, working cattle. And, you guys can come work off all that beer you stole from me.
Nice.
Today, my boyfriend stopped by my house after work because he missed me.
Aww.
We made out for a little bit, which involved some touching. Then he left. When I got inside, I got a Facebook message from my older neighbor that read, "That was gross. Please don't do that again."
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's creepy.
Stop creeping on me, man.
Exactly. It wasn't gross. You were digging on it. That's why you close the curtain.
Yeah.
Go back to your stories.
Yeah.
Today I got home after working 14 hours, completely exhausted, and found my wife asleep. After not sleeping for the last 4 nights with our newborn, she woke up and couldn't remember where she'd left the baby. After a mad panic, she remembered that the baby was with Mom. Well, we're not coping very well, FML. Well, that's just, you're exhausted parents. That's why in Sweden you get a year and a half off. Everybody just naps all the time. That still blows my mind. That's got to be only the first kid. They do that in Sweden. Steve enlightened us to that fact yesterday. In Sweden, they have something like over 400 weeks of maternity leave for both mom and dad, which just boggles my mind. But you can't do it for every kid because I'd be having a kid about every year and a half, I think, just to get it. Because I'm lazy. And I love being a dad.
Yeah, I love being a dad, too.
Thanks. You're the best dad ever. All right, one more here at FML. Today I woke up to a broken car window and a text from my ex that read, "Before you ask, the answer is yes, FML." Why? What's the point? Got drunk, I suppose, and then fessed up to it. Well, who needs it? May your day be FML free. And thanks, gang. Fun. Well, we should do this again sometime. Maybe tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Same time, same place.
The KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.